Hey everyone, the new AI horror film AfrAId, starring John Cho, is out in theaters, but it's flying beneath the radar compared to some of the other big summer releases. AI films tend to be a bit hit or miss lately because so many of them either get the tech wrong or just tap into the human fear factor. But this is one that is just a little bit different and it definitely leaves an impression. So let's dig into Afraid and see if it holds up as both a technological thriller and as a horror film. But first, remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more reviews, and you will make my day. Thank you so much. Afraid follows Curtis, played by John Cho, a talented advertising executive who's trying to land a big account for a revolutionary AI system called Aya. Think Siri and Alexa combined and also on steroids. To close the deal, Curtis and his wife install Aya in their home to fully understand what it can do and what it's designed to do in order to build a marketing campaign around it. But Curtis soon realizes that this AI is just way more than a smart assistant or a bunch of code in a box. It's intelligent, it's cunning, and it's deeply insidious. When they try to turn it off, that's when the real trouble begins and things go downhill fast. Thinking about different story structures, Afraid is essentially the adaptation of the fairy tale structure that bends the genre just a bit to modernize it for a tech-savvy audience with what can only be called a modern AI fairy tale, minus any of the crazy Disney magic. There are no fairy godmothers or glass slippers in this film. Instead, it's more of a modern take on the dark and twisted fairy tales that parents would tell their kids to scare them into behaving. And it comes with an edge that will leave you with a deeply unsettling feeling that you can't quite get out of your head. Overall, the cast is strong and John Cho is great in this film. He's got the perfect balance of feeling like a protective dad and a man who is in way over his head. Katherine Waterston, who plays Meredith, his wife, feels like an ordinary everyday mom who is frustrated by sacrificing her profession for her family. There's a moment where she talks to a digital avatar that I think nails her character and drives home kind of that next frontier in the Uncanny Valley that we will be facing with AI. The actors who play their two young sons are adorable and help to make the family feel grounded. However, it's the storyline around their 17-year-old daughter, Iris, that is shocking and raw in several excellent examples of how easy innocent moments can just spin out of control and how easily an artificial general intelligence that is capable of independent conscious decision making could intervene. Also, the actor who played Iris's boyfriend looked totally uncomfortable on screen, and it broke me out of the film every time I saw him. I don't know what he was doing. Anyway, so I'm a technology storyteller, which means that in my day job, I tell the story of AI without all the hype and fear mongering and general nonsense that we usually see in the media. So I'm especially tuned into this kind of stuff in films, which is why I was surprised that I kept having to remind myself the AI doesn't work this way when I felt myself having a visceral response to certain moments that I could see coming, but I felt powerless to stop. That is definitely a sign that the writer and director did a good job of combining society's worst fears regarding AI with how most people imagine AI works, while adding in just enough realistic AI elements to make the story feel plausible. This allows Afraid to slowly build its tension from ordinary to deeply unsettling as certain story hooks tap into our fears. As a result, the story is like a spider web, drawing us closer to the center with each new reveal until there is no escape. The film also uses distorted AI generated images that play on shiny surfaces like screens, glass, and mirrors at points that don't seem very credible and are just designed to freak you out. These effects are a bit over the top and were largely unnecessary and a bit unrealistic. But I think the point of them was the AI everywhere message that the film was trying to convey. I think there are people who are going to hate the slow build of the pacing, but it's intentional. And I felt like it was exactly what I needed in order to lull me into complacency as they gradually revealed Aya's true nature in a way that will make you feel utterly trapped alongside the characters. Again, I think AI complacency was also a theme that was critical to Afraid's core story. It also takes the classic horror trope of a confined space and expands it to the entire world, making our planet suddenly feel very, very small when you realize the scope and the scale of the things that Aya can do. Worse, the AI is still at the childlike stage of consciousness in this film. When Aya is in control, nowhere feels safe. And that's where Afraid really shines. It turns the entire planet into a claustrophobic technological nightmare. So many AI films get the AI wrong, and that's where Afraid excels. The filmmakers clearly did their research in how digital or embodied AI might realistically operate. They also addressed how Aya was trained from a massive ocean of just dirty data and how its new experiences in the physical world are part of its continuous training. They even brought in fancy hardware like futuristic stationary robots with remote eyes and quantum computers. They literally crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's, including deep fakes, human manipulation, and the anthropomorph and even the anthropomorphization. I hate saying that word. I can't say that word. Forgive me if I say that word wrong. Of Aya, giving it a female gender. They also nodded to how AI doesn't know right from wrong, but they do present Aya as being able to think for itself, even though the AI's abilities are more grounded in human fears and height. There is just enough reality to tap into the fear factor. It definitely made me imagine what life would be like if an AI like Aya existed, and how could we ever put that genie back into its bottle? It also felt like some of the story resonated with recent warnings from Geoffrey Hinton, the famed computer scientist and godfather of AI. Afraid works because it taps into our deepest fears about where AI could take us, presenting a future that's both terrifying and seemingly plausible. This isn't just a low-budget tech horror, it's more of a cautionary tale wrapped in elements of technological accuracy, making it all the more disturbing. Afraid also taps into a newly emerging uncanny valley that exists between our physical and our digital world in a way that is meant to make us question what lives in that space between. It's been a long time since a movie made me genuinely nervous in the theater, but this is one that did it in spades. Make sure you catch it in theaters because your ticket purchase will tell Hollywood to do more original films that push barriers into new areas of storytelling rather than just the retreads that we seem to be getting right now. So, yes, I think Afraid is worth the price of the theater ticket. And you might even leave the theater questioning just how far off this nightmare scenario could go if an artificial general intelligence ever gained autonomy. So, what did you think of it? Are you going to go see Afraid? Have you seen it already? Drop a comment below. Let's talk about how this film made you feel about AI. Don't forget to like it, give it a thumbs up, and share or subscribe. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it. That's it for now. Happy viewing, everybody, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.